Time now for your forecast first. WRBL News 3 First Alert Weather.
You know, pesky light rain is a lot better than having storms, right? So that's a good thing. It's been very cold, though. Some of you couldn't even get out of the upper 30s today or lower 40s. Here we are looking at Wednesday. What an improvement. Yes, it'll be cold, but certainly not as cold as today, but that sun will warm your heart. Oh, yes, it will. That's your midweek forecast as a storm system is hugging the southeast coastal areas. As it heads out into the Atlantic, it will pull in drier air behind it because that is some colder, drier air. We'll love to have that for sure. And you can see those temperatures out there, anywhere from the low 40s. Look at it, only 40 degrees in Pine Mountain. Cold indeed, but that rain is starting to exit. You're watching WRBL News 3 on your side.
Straight ahead and exclusive with a local healthcare leader as the possible spread of the Omicron variant looms ahead of the holidays.
Next in a story you'll see only on 3, an Auburn police officer who saved a man's life while on his lunch break.
Plus, a jury in Minneapolis now deciding the fate of former police officer Kim Potter.
On your side, this is News 3 First Edition.
Good evening and thank you for trusting News 3. I'm Phil Scoggins.
And I'm Teresa Whitaker. Let's get right to some breaking news. Police say a shooting at Wild Bill's Party Shop on Buena Vista Road has led to 3 different crime scenes. Authorities confirm one person has been shot in the parking lot. The shop is cordoned off with police tape and multiple shell casings are on the ground. Columbus police are on the scene. There are 3 unmarked police vehicles, as you can see there.
Authorities meanwhile confirm a second scene is also connected to that shooting at Wild Bill's. Police were on location at a gas station on Reese Road and Macon Road. The robbery and assault unit on scene. Our crews witnessed at least one person being detained.
Meanwhile, police are also investigating a scene at Farmington subdivision farther down Macon Road in Columbus. This is a live look at that scene. Police have confirmed all 3 of these scenes are connected. Stand by for more details on this developing story.
The federal government says U.S. population growth is the lowest it has been since the founding of our country, and they say COVID is one of the leading factors for the decline.
This comes as the Omicron variant is now sweeping across the country, forcing the Biden administration to respond. President Biden is encouraging Americans to take necessary precautions as the Omicron variant threatens holiday plans. The president announced he's ordered the military to have medical personnel ready to help hospitals overrun with new cases.
It's 1,000 military doctors, nurses, and medics. We've already started moving medical teams. They've already landed in Wisconsin and Indiana this week.
Officials say the first known death from the Omicron variant in the U.S. claimed the life of an unvaccinated person in Houston, Texas.
There is a 5th surge of the COVID-19 across the nation, but in Columbus, the surge has yet to take hold.
WRBL News 3's Chuck Williams talked with Piedmont Columbus Regional CEO Scott Hill today. Chuck joins us now.
Phil, Teresa, though hospitalizations in Columbus are low, Hill knows the Omicron variant is headed this way, and with that comes uncertainty. According to the Georgia Department of Public Health, there have been no reported cases of Omicron in the Columbus region. As of yesterday, there were 29 COVID-19 hospitalizations in the 2 Columbus healthcare systems, Piedmont Columbus Regional and St. Francis Emory Healthcare. The 7-day rolling average is 29. Those numbers are way off the COVID peak. On January 18th of this year, there were 200 COVID hospitalizations in Columbus. Back on September 7th, there were 198. Other parts of the country are getting hammered while Columbus waits to see what's coming. Listen to what Hill says on my podcast, The Chuck Williams Show.
There are some areas of the country that never had a 4th surge, based on what I'm reading.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of, no doubt that Omicron's here, right? I mean, the CDC just announced that I think 73% of new cases are Omicron. And, you know, we're still dealing with Delta too. And so I think that some of the areas that are really kind of getting punched in the nose right now are areas that we're dealing with a 4th surge, and now we got Omicron coming through, and there's a lot we don't know about the new variant and if it's going to drive hospitalizations.
You can listen to the entire podcast at 7 p.m. tonight on WRBL.com. Phil, Teresa?
All right, thank you, Chuck. Chuck also spoke to Hill for his Sunday Conversation, which airs on News 3 Sunday morning. You can see that entire interview in the 8 o'clock hour.
Tonight in a News 3 exclusive, we speak with the Auburn police officer who saved a man's life while on his lunch break.
As News 3's Elizabeth White reports, this veteran officer hopes by sharing the story, others will feel encouraged to get first aid training so they can save a life too.
What year did you start?
1986.
35 years as an Auburn peace officer, Captain Lorenzo Dorsey is a good man to have around in an emergency. Last Wednesday, while eating lunch in uniform,
And I could see that there was a gentleman there that apparently choking. There was a gentleman behind him trying to do the Heimlich maneuver on him, and it wasn't working. He was still choking. It was a crisis. You know, I could just tell by his face, tell by his wife's face. It wasn't going well.
They were scared.
They were very scared. And when I took over, you know, my thing was that I'm just not going to give up on this. I'm going to continue. And like I said, about the third time, you know, it came out, and he was able to recover and you know, restored his airway.
Come up to them. Are you choking? Are you choking? They're not going to be able to respond to you. They'll more than likely shake their head or something like that. You can also see there might be a blue color in their lips or their fingertips or something.
Auburn
like that.
firefighter
So
and
you wanna be looking
advanced
for that.
EMT
That
Justin
tells you
Farmer
that-
demonstrates the maneuver, saying the Heimlich should only be used if the airway is completely blocked.
Get them to stand up if they're able to. They're going to bend forward just a little bit. You're going to take your thumb, inner side, you're going to go above their belly button below their ribs. Take your other hand over across. They're going to be bent over, and what you're going to do is you're going to push up in fast towards their diaphragm up underneath their ribs. So it's going to be a very quick up and in.
Anyone can save a life by
try to get in
learning
there
CPR
until you
and the
keep going.
Heimlich from a trained professional.
I'm just so happy and grateful that, you know, he's fine.
Please reach out to your local fire department for more information. Reporting in Auburn, Elizabeth White, WRBL News 3, on your side.
We're keeping our eye on a number of other big stories for you. In Columbus, a teacher has pleaded guilty to wire fraud charges in federal court. 59-year-old Trina Trice pleaded guilty on Monday. The investigation revealed that Trice's job as a Muskogee County school teacher was her only source of active income, although she previously worked at a dental office and as a campaign coordinator for the Columbus branch of the United Negro College Fund. She also collected donations for Sandmark, a non-profit that runs an annual basketball camp for children in Columbus. Authorities identified 109 checks and 265 credit card transactions fraudulently deposited. Officials say the total amount of stolen funds amounted to over $240,000. Trice cited her gambling addiction as a motivation behind her actions. She is facing a maximum of 20 years in prison.
Keeping an eye on America, the jury has resumed deliberations in the manslaughter trial of the suburban Minneapolis police officer who says she meant to use her taser instead of her gun when she shot and killed a black motorist, Dante Wright. Prosecutors accused Kim Potter of a blunder of epic proportions in Wright's death, and on April the 11th at a traffic stop, she said a mistake was no defense. Potter's attorneys countered that Wright, who was attempting to get away from officers as they sought to handcuff him, caused the whole incident. We want to thank you for trusting News 3 as your favorite source for local news.
All right, guys, so what is going on out there in the southeast U.S.? It's really the big significant storm. There's one in the desert southwest, but that one's the bigger storm. Even a little bit of mountain snow. I'm talking about in the mountains of North and South Carolina. That's where we're looking. You got to get up about 5,000 feet. So the day planner coming up, much more improvements, but this is the next several hours to the early overnight. The clouds will eventually kind of break apart and will allow to see some clearing. Temperatures are going to be in the 30s, so it's going to be a bundle up start. You can download a WRBL radar app to get the latest forecast by staying connected with us right now.
on your side. Chief Meteorologist Bob Jeswald has your first alert forecast.
Rain, go away, but wet and cold weather is here to stay for the rest of today, and that'll be different tomorrow. You could see the rain hitting the pavement and the rooftops here, and you could see it's just that misty light rain, and it's enough that that windshield wiper, if it is not one that has been changed recently, it'll make that. I should have done some video on that. Isn't it the most grating sound? It's like nails on a chalkboard. It is. Phil and Teresa are like, ooh. That's probably the worst thing. And when you can't get those windshield wipers to time out just right so it doesn't make all that squeaking and crazy noise. That's the way this rain has certainly had it today for many who are traveling around. Temperatures have been certainly the story, how cold it was today. When you don't get sunshine, you need heat. You need solar radiation to heat us up. And there was none of that happening today, not here in the deep south, or at least this area. The computer model showing us this, which is pretty good depiction from Birmingham just west of Montgomery. It's starting to break up. But this is the low base cloud strata clouds that are nimbus, that are producing the rain, because if they weren't nimbus, they wouldn't be. And once you get above this, if you were to fly in an airplane, pop right above, the sun will be right out. But it's that just socked right in here with that area of low pressure spinning all that Atlantic and Gulf moisture. But by the time we get into the late evening here, there'll still be partly cloudy skies. I'm going to keep that in. But then it's cleared out by sunrise tomorrow morning. Look at this. So without even having to write the word sun, we'll get some sun and then a dry cold front on the heels of that will just kind of reinforce the daytime high temperatures. It'll be below average, which will not even get in the 60s. But let me tell you something, that sun will make all the difference here in the southeast mid-Atlantic. Travel looking good. In fact, even with the system coming up in the Great Lakes, there's this little bit of a disturbance in a snowstorm. It's coming through here on Thursday. If you're traveling up parts of Michigan, Wisconsin, places like that, you're not going to see anything terribly bad this time of year. Pacific Northwest, kind of a little bit stormy too. But again, overall for the country, by the end of the week going into Christmas, we're not doing bad. Okay, that's some good news. So no severe weather and all that kind of nonsense we had a week ago. So 30s here, look at that. Look at that. And we're going to see some clearing going on here. And a greater view of this showing you what's happening. You can see how that system like a vacuum sucks right out. Air sinks. We get good strong high pressure here coming in on your Thursday even in the overnight. So cold overnights and into the morning. And again, rather benign. You got some mountain snow. Denver, you're going to see that disturbance coming into the southwest desert areas. But that's okay. We can get through that. And some snow there. And again, once this clears out and let that next dry front come through, reinforcing again the great weather we're going to have here. Now, I haven't said Christmas yet, have I? Let me show you that forecast. That's some good news. But today, look at us. A chilly 44 degrees is all we had, and almost a half an inch in some places of rain. It was good rain. We needed it for sure. So the day planner tomorrow, as we get into it, you saw it tonight coming in there. We'll see those temperatures in the next few hours for tonight. You saw the morning through the evening. This is the evening planner. We're looking at those 40s, but they'll be squeezed out with some upper 50s coming here tomorrow afternoon thanks to the sun. And Christmas Eve looking good. Ho, 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 Santa says. Things looking good as we get into the overnight. And Christmas Day, look at that, 73 degrees with improved weather. Really a stretch of days coming up. Phil and Teresa.
All right, thank you so much, Bob. The CDC says this flu season could be worse than last year and more serious as mask restrictions ease. The concern is that many people did not get their flu shots last year because of the pandemic.
The CDC says it has noticed an uptick in influenza strains, especially among young adults and those in colleges. Although both COVID and the flu are respiratory illnesses, doctors say that it's important to get that flu shot and COVID-19 vaccine as they respond to different viruses. The CDC says anyone older than 6 months can get a flu shot, and you can get it at the same time as your COVID-19 vaccine. So far, since July, nearly 500,000 Georgians have received their flu shots.
People are getting it, but not to the amount that I had hoped. I thought we'd have a kind of a huge surge of flu vaccine requests, and that just hasn't happened. I think we're probably on the lower end of vaccinations this year for flu, but we are seeing quite a bit of influenza.
Influenza vaccines are available at all health departments and pharmacies. DPH says immunization is especially important for those who are at risk for developing flu complications.
Stay with us right here on News 3 First Edition. We are back in 3 minutes.
On your side, you're watching WRBL News 3 First Edition.
The LaGrange-based electricity company Diverse Power is sharing some tips on staying safe and keeping power bills low this holiday season.
The residential services marketing coordinator for Diverse Power says the biggest tip to saving money and reducing the risk of fires during the holiday season is to use LED lights instead of incandescent. On average, LED lights are 70% cheaper on your electricity bill. They also reduce the risk of a fire. The incandescent lights can cause a breaker to short circuit and possibly catch fire.
LED is the way to go. Not only from an energy perspective, but a safety perspective. That bulbs do not get warm. Another big benefit of LEDs.
Pope says he also recommends using a power strip that has a circuit interrupter in it when putting up a lot of lights in a home. So if the circuit is overloaded, it will shut the power strip off and not the breaker. You're watching News 3 First Edition.
And Bob has a final check of that forecast for us coming up.
Hurt by a big truck? 1-800-CALL-KEN.
One call, that's all.
On your side, you're watching WRBL News 3 First Edition.
As we approach International Women's Month coming up in March, News 3 is recognizing the contributions women are making to our nation and local communities.
Remarkable Women is part of a nationwide Nexstar media effort to honor the influence that women have had on public policy, social progress, and quality of life. Nominees will be accepted now through December 31st.
The clock is ticking, so fill out the nomination form. Go to our website at WRBL.com. All right, Bob is joining us now for a final look at our forecast.
Yeah, so I'm walking back over here. I was sitting there and I was checking something else here for the weather next week too. It looks like we could be potentially in a real long stretch. There's two scenarios, and we're not going to go out on a limb yet going into the new year, but stay with us. It would be interesting if we get more into this pattern of more stable weather, which no one's complaining about that. But as you could see all the way through Tuesday, that happens to be the case. In fact, we're going to see temperatures that begin to rise a little bit too. So not only are we starting out chilly here, you got a couple dry cold fronts coming in here Wednesday and Thursday. So it's clear based on the 7-day forecast. You see the upper 50s, and then look at that sub-freezing on Thursday morning, but it's pleasant. And even Christmas Eve, mid-60s and 35 in the morning. And as we get into next week, we're back in those lower 70s, guys. So again, really take advantage of this. We need a little break here. We're going to dry out.
All right, thank you so much, Bob. Thank you for watching News 3 First Edition.
Andy Griffith Show on your way next. We'll see you at the top of the hour.